So this is the best video I've got of that. It's not the greatest video in the world, but so you can see what I'm. It's good.
Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Go. Come on. There we go. Who's all right? Did you get a good exercise?
He was a cool dude. Andean condors are definitely the pinups of the vulture world, in my opinion, and he was the pinup of all pinups. Always in their formal black and whites. Andy's been photographed by thousands of individuals. Most famously, and the top photo over there, that's National Geographic photographer Joel Sartore. Joel came to Tracy Aviary in 2014 and photographed Andy for the photo arc, which is his project, as well as indulging in a walk around the apiary with the king himself and an informal photo shoot. So I took that magnificent photo. Joel took the rest of it. And Andy's photo was actually featured in the National Geographic Symphony for our World Orchestral event, which is what this bottom corner photo is. Yeah, pretty cool. He was quite the muse for many an artist. These pictures and etc. are all in my house. I wasn't kidding this morning when I said if you come to my house, his memory is inescapable. He's in every room, on every wall, photographs and immortalized in all manner of mediums, from oil paintings to cartoons, and they're all still in my home. Of course, now he's been immortalized in probably his finest artistic creation, which is out there in the plaza for you guys to see. If you're wondering where he got his name from, inside baseball scoop coming here. In 2013, Salt Lake City editorial cartoonist Pat Bagley paid homage to Andy in this cartoon for his 54th birthday celebration. We gave this away to people, his birthday card as it was. And that's how he got the N in his name. Prior to 2013, he was just Andy. Mr. Bagley, in humorous style, labeled the cartoon Andy N. Condor. Get it? And the name stuck, so that was his name forevermore. Now you know. Andy has had ale brewed for him. That's Andy Ale. Local brewery brewed that in honor of his 60th birthday. I don't drink beer, so I've got a lot of unopened bottles of Andy Ale, but I'm told by people that do drink beer that it was delicious. And Condor Cafe Ibis, which is a local coffee making company, produced this coffee in honor of Andy, and that I believe you still can get. I loved sharing Andy with people. It was my joy to share him with the world. But I also loved my time alone with him. Selfishly, I liked spending time with him by myself. My Thanksgiving tradition every year was to come to the aviary. You probably can tell by my accent that I'm not from Utah originally, or even the US. So my family don't live here. And he was my family. So what else was I going to do on Thanksgiving but come to the aviary and spend several hours? Well, we're only closed 2 days out of the year, which is Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. And I take full advantage of having the whole park to myself and walk around with him. And that was my tradition every year. It's hard on Thanksgiving now. There's some days that are harder than others, although none of them are easy. And as he got older, he suffered complications of getting older, just like we do. I didn't always wear these glasses. I can't see a thing without them now. So it happens to the best of us. And as he got older, he developed cataracts, and he pretty much lost his vision. I think he had like a little bit of vision left, but not much. And talk about trust. We'd still bring him out. He'd walk around with me. He'd follow the sound of my voice. I'd talk to him constantly. Sometimes I'd even sing to him, which is awful, and no one should have to endure that. And he did. And we'd get around that way. He did have, I believe it was 2020. 23 was 2020. He had cataract surgery, which actually restored his vision. But we also almost lost him. So when he was coming round from the cataract surgery, he didn't come round from the anesthesia all that well. So this picture in the middle is me holding him for what I thought was going to be a last goodbye. I spent all night with him. It was during COVID, and thankfully the ophthalmologist hospital allowed us to take him up there. So we were in a hospital with him, with anything that we'd need. We had him on oxygen. I sat with him like that all night. Jackie, my co-worker, sat with him with me. We didn't leave his side, and he survived. Plot twist, spoiler alert. When he came around, though, it was something else, because when he started to come around, it really came around quick. And we were in an ophthalmologist suite at a local hospital with tens of thousands of dollars of really expensive equipment, and him waking up and deciding he wanted to be his 10-foot wings, and us running around with pillows and trying to block this ophthalmology equipment, like, oh my God, he's going to break it. There were coffee cups going everywhere and utensils, but no damage was done to the expensive equipment. And honestly, I really wouldn't have cared. Don't tell anybody, but I wouldn't. And he was a big baby too. He was a big, tough looking bird, but just a gigantic baby. One time when we were walking him around the aviary, he caught one of his toenails in a crack in the sidewalk, and he did crack the nail and it was bleeding. I'll give him that. But boy, the drama that ensued, and he wouldn't put his foot down, and we tried for a long time to get him to walk. We wanted to get him back to his habitat, but no, it was funny in retrospect. I ended up picking him up and carrying him like a little baby back to his enclosure, all the way across the aviary. Didn't restrain him. I didn't hold his beak or anything like that. He got no intention of hurting me. I just carried him. And I'm a little person, so if he wanted to resist that, he very much could have. Ever after that, when we'd go out on walks, if he so much as stubbed a toe, he would dance around and flap his wings and hold his foot up, and it was like, dude, I know stubbing your toe doesn't feel good, but come on, bro. But yeah, he was a big baby.